Hey, what's going on? Good morning, good afternoon. Where you at? Go ahead and hit that like button. As soon as the game come on, I will turn it on there. What we got going on right now, ESPNU. This is why I hate when they do our sports. ESPNU is showing Cornell and Yale. They got 18.9 seconds left. But when as soon as we start up, as soon as the game is over with, I will definitely put it on there. Hope everybody having a good weekend so far. Yeah, they got 18 seconds, but the game should have started. And it's 76-86, so I don't know why they still sitting there trying to foul and all that stuff. You don't have a 10-point play. You don't have a strategy. Even if they hit five of the free throws. It's just crazy. But it's all good. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Tell a friend. I mean, they constantly fouling. Yeah, like I said, we're waiting on the game to start. Everybody coming on up in here. All this crap they doing, the game over with. 7 seconds left. They still trying to fight. So many women play tight. Let me tell y'all what I like. I like them girls in them cowgirls. I like them girls in them cages too. I like them girls in the cowgirls. This is what we're waiting on. Down in the country. That's today's event. I will be live streaming the men and women. All right, the game is fine. I hope they don't do no damn trophy presentation. Can't get enough of you. I like them girls in them cowgirls. I like them girls in them cages too. All right, here we go.
For the SWAC championship game between the Southern Jaguars and Alabama State Hornets. Jaguars looking to repeat as conference champions. Tiffany Green alongside Angel Gray, and obviously, Angel, there is lots at stake here this afternoon.
What I love most is that whoever wins this game not only gets to cut down the net to take home the championship trophy, you also get an opportunity on Sunday where we look at the brackets and the reveal to see who you will be playing. One of the winners or the winner from this game will be in the first 4 games in the NCAA tournament.
Southern seeking their 8th tournament appearance. for Alabama State. They're trying to get back to the NCAA tournament for just the 4th time in program history. Inside, and nice find to clear Peterson. Well, I'll tell you, they like to do a little high-low, get some points in the paint, and find some success around the rim, and the Hornets on the board first.
And that's a great sign for the Lady Hornets as well.
And that's not my lighting.
Last game with
That's
2 points.
ESPNU's lighting.
High-low presence.
Look real dark out
Perfect
there.
positioning. That is a telltale sign of how they want this game to flow.
The Southern Jaguars coming in with a pretty new lineup. They lost a lot of talent from a season ago. 9 newcomers to this team. Meanwhile, for Alabama State, boy, what a terrific story it has been for first-year head coach Johnetta Hayes, as she has really reworked the magic in this program. Swing over, kick out. Zaria Hurston knocks down the triple. So Zaria Hurston, one of those big hits for Carlos Funches, head coach of Southern University, played at both DePaul and Coastal Carolina, but was elated to have a player like Hurston on his lineup.
I tell you what's even better. She's from Decatur, Georgia. Decatur, where it's greater. So
All
if you're
right
from
now.
the area, you understand her coming home, understanding the people in the stands are cheering her name. She wants a title in front of the fam.
Smith off mark on that 3-point attempt, controlled by.
Hey, thank y'all for watching. The game just got started.
It's better than
Moving pretty
61
slow.
points a game. Jayla Reed, one of those impact transfers for the Jaguars. And just couldn't hold on to it, and Hurston turns it over.
But one thing that I do like about Hurston, though, is that her ability to be on the block, she just knocked down a 3. But I know for Southern, we were talking about him earlier, just about how getting back to this point with names that haven't been on the roster from a season ago, to find that success tells you so much about what coach has been able to do with so many different pieces.
Yeah, Carlos Funches has been a terrific. 3 regular season titles to go along with 3 tournament titles. We mentioned trying to go back-to-back for the first time in program history.
I was most impressed with Coach Funches actually being the slam dunk contest champion on ESPN back in '91. I don't know if we'll get a little look of that, but I think that's he's already debuted on ESPN a couple of times.
Oh, yeah. They like to refer as the Doc back in the day. A 6-2 advantage for his squad, as that last bucket scored by Demaya Porter. Put up and in Alana Pooler, who had 13 points in that semifinal game yesterday against UAPB. She's going to be a key piece for the Hornets.
I think a huge piece for them because of how versatile she is. And if she can have the confidence to knock down that shot, she can also put it off the deck. But getting into a nice flow offensively is very important for Alabama State.
The Jaguars, who have committed a few turnovers so far, and another opportunity for Pooler, leaves it short, rimmed off, and Hurst pulls down the rebound.
And that is a shot that she can absolutely take. I know on the season she is shooting about 31% from the field, but that is a green light for Pooler.
We saw the little hesitation fake from Hurston and went a little bit further. And we told you about Johnetta Hayes, and again, taking over for a legend. 27 years, you saw Frida Freeman Jackson hold that spot, but now Johnetta Hayes in her first year took a program who was among the last in the conference a season ago to now to a SWAC championship appearance.
Tiffany, it's one thing to say last. It's another thing to emphasize they only had 6 wins a season ago. And to be in the title game, you have to have the buy-in. And so for Alabama State, they have so many different people from top to bottom understanding what their roles are and what the standard is. And that's what Coach Hayes has been repeatedly saying to this program. The standard is the standard. And we've seen that on their magical run here to the title game.
Well, she had success in the SWAC before, former Texas Southern coach for a number of years, won a SWAC championship in the process, and now she's hoping to do so with the black and gold. Off the bench inside, and the take no good for Nikeria Flowers, part of the starting lineup, but Nikeria Flowers, the true freshman point guard for Alabama State, turns it over. One of the keys to the game, Carlos Funches, as we talked to him, wanting to make sure that they force as many turnovers as possible because they're the best to do it in the SWAC.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other teams understand it as well. So it's the way in which they do it. They're in your face. It's pressure from the time you inbound the ball to the time you have to take it out on the other side. So for them, it's just understanding what they need to do on the defensive end is where they start things.
The kick out, good look there from Olivia Delancey, off the mark, and a traveling violation as the Hornets hand it right back over. And those are the types of turnovers that Coach Hayes has been trying to eliminate.
And for Coach Hayes, here's the thing. It's a turnover that you may live with. Now, you do have to defend the out of bounds underneath. You're closer to an opportunity for situationals, but you didn't give up live ball turnover, which could cause to a big layup on the other side.
Looking inside, Porter.
Good post move, though.
For the traveling violation. So
oh, man.
Care of the basketball paramount for both of these teams.
Yeah, Southern right now with 4 turnovers, 2 for Alabama State. But for Porter, I think her just establishing herself in the paint. That was just the one foot that got brought up, but I love the spin move and attack on the inside.
Clarissa McClendon, they like to call her Tree, pops it out. And a good open look from 3, halfway down for Shamaya Reed, and it pops out into the hands of Michaela Cunningham.
How about the arch on that shot? I thought it grazed one of the lights for our cameras.
The offensive rebound for Southern. And taking their time here, Jocelyn Tate, you see number 4 in that Southern blue, who was the hero in that semifinal against Alabama A&M. And there, the take to the hoop, and the first 2 points for Tate. The Alabama A&M, who came in as the top-seeded team, they had an 18-game winning streak snapped at the hands of Tate.
And that's what makes it so cool to see Southern getting back to a place where just a year ago they were able to cut down the nets. They weren't the big dogs in the conference this year. You had Alabama A&M on an 18-game win streak. Before that was snapped by Southern. Their confidence has to be in an all-time high, but they've also been tested on how hard it's going to be to get there.
With a foul as Demaya Porter tried to reject the shot from Reed, and the first personal foul whistled for Southern and for their team as we step aside here with 4:38 to go in this first quarter.
All right, there go the first half, the first timeout. Now, I hope y'all paid attention to that, what was just said. Alabama A&M had an 18-game winning streak. They're regular season conference champs, and they will not make the NCAA tournament. That's unbelievable. That is just really crazy. So if you can sit there and win 18 straight games, win your regular season championship, and you're HBCU, you still cannot make the tournament. That is unreal. That's not how it's supposed to be. But hey, I guess we gotta live with that because we're HBCUs. That's not right. Just unbelievable. So that's frustrating to me. I guarantee you there would have been any other damn conference, you'd have 2 teams in there. And I don't care about no level of competition and who they played, this and that. Win 18 games is winning 18 games. So that's why I don't really pay attention to these folks that talk down on HBCUs. So oh man, that's just one of them things, man. At halftime of the game, I would drop the link. If you want to come up and say something, you're more than welcome to talk. Halftime. So get your thoughts together, because I really want to hear people's comments about a team winning 18 games in a row, winning their conference, and still not making the NCAA tournament. So I don't get it. These damn commercials just as long as the damn men's. Nuggets Lakers tonight.
Presented by Principal as we continue on with this SWAC Women's Basketball Tournament from Atlanta. 10-4 advantage for Southern. And let's look back at how both of these teams got here. 12 teams in total, first time in program history. Hey, the semifinal game with Alabama State over UAPB. Hey, Arkansas Pine Bluff was the team that was trending in the right direction. And how about this one? Last second teardrop shot from Jocelyn Tate to knock off the top-seeded Alabama A&M Bulldogs and advance back to the championship game. And right now, Carlos Funch's team is feeling good. And what he told us earlier today, he was just like, you know, he doesn't get too high, he doesn't get too low. He doesn't even think about what's at stake.
Which is why they are so even keel, because a couple of those moments in the game yesterday, I was like, oh my goodness, myself, I was losing my mind. But just to even see Jocelyn Tate that comes off the bench, and we can say that the depth that they have within their roster, everyone has this instilled confidence of what they need to do with the amount of minutes that they play, but also the looks and how they flow into the positioning for this roster. So Coach Funches, I mean, what an amazing time we had on the call with him, but most importantly, just the standard of what it takes to be a champion with so many new faces on this roster.
Right now, his team off to a great start, 57% from the floor in a 6-point advantage with Alabama State at the free throw line. Shemaya Reed missing the first of two. One of those players who had a terrific game during the regular season against Southern, put up 10 points and missing both free throws there. Kayla Cunningham over to Tate. Tate, the 5'11 sophomore out of Arkansas, in the corner. Great look for Delancey, just won't go down, and Reed comes up with it.
I'm looking for Shemaya Reed to continue to be aggressive. Now, going back to the two times that they saw Southern in the regular season, she scored in double figures. She finds her different good looks on the floor. She's never rushed.
Single digits on the shot clock. Reed picks up her dribble, has to find somewhere to go, kicks it over, and a good look from three just would not go down for the Hornets pooler.
Tiffany, another thing that I'm looking for Southern is how they respond to Alabama State has beaten them on the glass. And right now they are winning in that department, being more aggressive to the rim. And I think that's the standard in which you have to build on from the two times that they saw each other in the regular season.
Well, that's an interesting point that you bring up, Angel, because in talking with the coaches, you understand what you're up against with Alabama State, knowing that if you're Coach Hayes, you feel really good about the rebounders that you have on your squad, whether it be Pooler or Peterson or McClendon. And Southern right now is keeping pace and out-rebounding a very tough squad.
Very tough is almost like an understatement if you're thinking about Alabama State. My goodness, they have two of the top rebounders in the SWAC this season. But to look at it big picture, Tiffany, they are first in the conference in rebounding, but they are also 12th in the nation in rebounding. So this is a team that has a knack for chasing it after the rim, boxing out for one another. Their guards are what's most impressive in how they gain rebound together.
Amari Franklin in the game. Reed dips it over, or dumps it over, able to get it back just temporarily. In a frazzled possession here. Got their shot up with time winding down.
At halftime, Doc, I'm going to drop the
bounds, and the Hornets turn it over.
And that's what Southern will do to you, the second best defense in the league. And we saw what they did.
I have not heard that they
canceled team in Alabama A&M. They sped them up. So when you feel like you're frantic, what is that spot on the shot clock where you're like, now we have to go? You have to get to your kill spots on the floor and understand who the ball needs to get to without the fumble.
Able to break the press as they get it across half court, but an excellent point because they limited the SWAC player of the year.
I got y'all in the comments.
7 points in that semifinal win. Nice take to the hoop and the finish for Cunningham. She'll go to the free throw line and try to complete the three-point play.
You think it means something, Tiff? for Southern, who might have been counted out in a few ways, but the take here, if there's not a body in front of her, yeah, good night. And off the deck, the first look at how she's assessing. If there's going to be the middle person in the paint that's supposed to be the plug, which meaning I am going to guard you off of that high screen. If you're going to go with the roller in the paint, I think that's the assist to the post player. She's able to see a lane and get fouled on the way.
We'll step aside and we'll come back with the free throw from Cunningham when we return as Alabama State spins a timeout.
Yeah, now, I don't know if they canceled the tournament, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, the NCAA act like they are short on sponsors and money and all kind of other stuff, and they make billions of dollars. They just don't want to do right. So that's my opinion about when they do stuff like that. Jay, I wouldn't be surprised if they did cancel it, though, brother. I'm serious. I don't put nothing past those folks, man. Yeah, I thought the ESPN would have better what's the name, cameras or stuff for this, but it just, maybe it's just my screen. It looked like that, but it just looked a little dark in there compared to what was being shown the last few days, because I've been streaming every day this week. Here we go.
With you, first quarter of the SWAC championship game. Southern looking to repeat. Cunningham, who had the continuation shot, dropped it. Now will stand at the free throw line. A junior out of Salina, Kansas, who had to come in and replace a player like DK Sanders. Again, Carlos Funches had to retool a lot of players on his roster, either transfer or graduation, and she provides both size and great defense for this Jaguar group.
I love that you said the size aspect too, standing at 5'10". It's how she gets to her buckets. Good to see that she can knock down the free throw there, but it's how she's come in over the last 3 games. Now, she just had 2 points against Alabama A&M, but over the last 3, she's had a total of 9. With her size, with her mindset getting to the rim, she's a walking bucket. If they can get back to those type of plays for her, I think that builds more confidence for her to see throughout the rest of the game.
Angel, what have you seen defensively from the Jaguars that has made it difficult for the Hornets to get a bucket? That's the first bucket made in more than 4 minutes.
Well, now that's fresh on my mind, it's like, well, why don't we see more of it? But I think what Southern has been able to do, something that we've seen all year, is that they play together. It's not a one-on-one defense. If there's going to be a slide or a take to the basket, there's a gap. You're trying to be 2 people essentially instead of just the one.
They tried to get it inside. Little no man's land, stolen away. Good heads up play by Peterson, who couldn't finish.
Well, how was that not a foul the first time?
Well, good nifty hands by Kiera Peterson, and just missed the layup on the other end.
It's like you get the baton, you trip at the finish line. Those type of plays, you think about winning plays and just falling short. And for Peterson, we've seen her time and time again, not just throughout the season, but in this tournament, how she shows up. And you can see it's frustrating for her right now, of like how Alabama State is on the defensive end, how they have to be and generate offense off of those opportunities. And you just mentioned it. It's been a struggle for them to get points against Southern's defense. So when you can get easy, you want to make sure you take advantage of it.
Just over 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter. See if the Pins can ramp it up here. This group out of Montgomery, Alabama, just more than 2 hours outside of Atlanta.
Now, I remember going to Pregame and calling one of the SWAC championship games, and that was a fun and exciting environment. But how cool is it to have this tournament, as you mentioned to me earlier, now for the 2nd year with so much history for HBCUs and the support and commitment to showing up for
just HBCUs in general. So it's been fun to watch everyone come together for it.
Absolutely. I mean, you see Atlanta as an epicenter for Black excellence, and the number of HBCUs that are here. The championship games is
And one.
that basket no good. It's waved off the foul before, but you think about the AUC, and then you've got the MEAC SWAC Challenge and Celebration Bowl. But back to this play right here, the foul.
It should have been and one.
By Porter. And on the inbound, it'll be Kaylee Simpson.
So the length for Southern subbed out with Porter checking out, and then also Cunningham actually was a little gimpy getting to the bench. I know that she went to the end, not sure if she was getting checked out or getting some Gatorade.
High off the glass for Kaylee Simpson, and Simpson is a player who's got a lot of quickness, very aggressive. You want to see her get going.
And the reason I made that point is because the next play for Alabama State was to the paint.
They're immediately trying to attack, and a heads-up play by the graduate student in Jayla Reed. Being able just to assess and attack understanding who's on the floor. Jalea Reed out of Hot Springs, Arkansas, transferred over from Mississippi Valley State, player who was a volume shooter for a program, filling the shoes of Maria Fontenot from a season ago.
Let me tell you something. You said a volume shooter, a volume 3-point shooter. I mean, 77% of her shots from the floor came from outside the arc.
Well, Champ Week rolls on tonight at 6 Eastern on ESPN with the Phillips 66 Big 12 Championship game. Top-seeded Arizona takes on second-seeded Houston. Then at 8:30 Eastern, we'll have the ACC Tournament Championship game with another 1-2 punch with Duke and Virginia. And my partner, Angel Gray, well-traveled, well-versed in all things, all conferences. Hey, weren't you out at the Big 12 tournament?
I think I was.
Yeah,
mentally, I'm like, was I? But yes, it was such an amazing event. I was able to crown a champion, seeing West Virginia get the title over TCU, who's trying to also go back-to-back. And then on the men's side, just seeing not just the digital floor, which I know there's been a lot of conversation around now. The floor is back, everyone. It's normal. But it will be some fun championship games going on for the Big 12 and the ACC.
Just plain old hard work here at the Gateway Center as the rebound brought in by Xylee Harrison in the final minute of the opening quarter of the SWAC championship.
Yeah, there is not going to be any like flashy lights if the three is made here.
We know exactly where half court is, right, partner? Offensive foul away from the basketball called against Southern. And it's going to be Alabama State's ball.
Now, looking at the clock, too, you want to make sure for Alabama State, who has been struggling from the field so far today. And they're just shooting only 4 field goals that they've made from the floor. So now 4 seconds, the game clock. You don't want to give it back to them with too much time so they can have a set play. So I would use as much time of this shot clock as possible.
Big Bama State doing exactly that, trying to take their time, jump ball possession arrow. But because of that, now it allows Southern to take the last shot of the quarter.
And when you're not hitting shots from outside for Alabama State, that gives Southern the luxury to pack it in. When you pack it in, then they just hover you right at that high post position, a spot where Alabama State got their first look was underneath. So they're making the adjustments in real time.
Being hounded, Reed, good defense, all up in the face. Flag way over, got to put something up in time, just off the rim. As Deshante Edwards couldn't get it to fall, but a good start for the Southern Jaguars. 17-8 advantage after one for the Jaguars. ESPN's exclusive.
All right, there we go. All right, first quarter in the bag. The women play 4 quarters, but folks don't understand. Now I got their timeout schedule. They get under 5. They get 2 timeouts, media timeouts under 5 minutes, which is totally different from the men game. The men only get 1. You get under 10 and under 5, unless some goofy shit be happening in the men's game, which it is. So what y'all think about that first quarter? I mean, does Southern look too unbeatable? I don't know. This game can go either way. You know, like I said, basketball, men or women, it's about swings. Can somebody get hot? Can a team go cold? Can the team go on a run? Can you stop the run? What's your response to the run? That's basketball. Southern defense right now is swarming. When they up, as you've seen, when they give it to the center up there by the free throw line, they collapsing on her. She got to be able to. They draw plays to get the ball out of her hands when they collapse like that. Because if they collapsing on you like that, space out, and somebody's wide open. Preferably your sharpshooter. If you got a sharpshooter on the team, they crowd you like that, throw that ball over there. And so that's what I do. But right now they're struggling to get some points, but it'll change. But it's good to see Alabama State, the season that they had last year, and what they're doing now for the females I'm talking about. And I ain't talking about the men. The men, they hit the road early during the tournament. They didn't even have a spend a night bag. They were back in Montgomery before the sun went down. That's how quick they got beat. But it's all good, Alabama State folks. Y'all know I get everybody here. So once the game come back on, we start rocking and rolling. It says it should be another minute. I kind of wish the men go to quarters too, instead of doing halves. I think it'd be better, in my opinion. I don't know why not. The pros go to quarters. Divide those quarters up. Divide those halves up in the quarters. It ain't that hard to do. Now, we know on the men's side, we only going to have one team only. That's going to make it to the championship. But the women this year, I can strongly make a good case for Alabama A&M being in the tournament. Oh, here we go.
Women's basketball game, and Southern 4 seed on top of Alabama State as we take a look at how both teams got here. Again, this is a Southern team who's trying to repeat as SWAC champions. Meanwhile, Alabama State seeking their first title in a decade as we welcome you back inside the Gateway Arena alongside Angel Gray, Tiffany Green. Hey, look, one of the keys that we talked about with coaches before the game, rebounding, and right now Southern having their way.
Southern having the advantage because they understand what Alabama State does great. So when you take that going into tournament time, it's how do we adjust? They have the advantage in that department. And going back to Alabama State, they are the 12th best rebounding team in the nation. They also had their second best rebounding performance against them in the last game where they put up 49 rebounds. If you don't circle that at first on the scouting report and make adjustments, then I don't know what to tell you. So that was a high priority for them coming into this game, and they're executing to the T.
Well, when you think about the February 5th meeting,
Offense.
and then again on March 3rd,
Yeah, they crowd around her.
In favor of Alabama State. But
you got to get the ball out of hand.
Is it to beat a team 3 times in the season?
Well, I tell you what, it's difficult because you've seen them a good amount of times at full strength. Now, I think the cool thing about tournament time is that you don't have any other adjustment to make. You lay everything out on the floor and you know what they have coming in as far as strengths. Now, for Southern, yes, they want that get back. And that's what their entire
run through for this tournament has been.
Got back against Alabama A&M. They took down Jackson State in the quarterfinal as that one with a fortuitous bounce as Zaria Hurston now with 6 points of the game. Correction, 5 points in this game.
Damn.
Flowers going all the way.
Go ahead, girl.
The true freshman point guard, Nikeria Flowers, who had 14 points in that semifinal game. Boy, she's tough to stop when she goes downhill.
I was looking for her to just find a way to wake up and going to the timeout. This back-to-back opportunities for them.
Come on, sister girl.
Steals, but not able to finish it off.
Yeah,
on
get
the
them
other
steals
end. We've
together.
seen Peterson able to intercept
There you go.
or pick off a couple of passes,
There you go.
but nothing stopping Zaria Hurston right now. You said Decatur wears what?
Greater.
Okay. That's where she hails from, the junior forward.
You got a nice shot.
She showed that her shot is a little bit greater than anything we've seen today. I mean, just for her to be able to step up again, and right now is leading them with 8 points. But on the other side, I loved how Alabama State got to the rim, but it was because Southern wasn't set on the defensive end. So they have to create and generate more opportunities like that.
So for the basketball going into the Southern bench, and last touch, the officials say, by the Hornets.
See here the look and just beating them. Her speed. Flowers is just that quick. And on the other side, 1-2. The goose and the net connect. And that's what I love about Hurston. Just a smooth player. I mean, a lot of what she does just in rhythm, by the way, coming from DePaul, being coached in a great way, then saying, I'm going to take my talents to Southern with an opportunity to be that player and her number called more.
Hurston, who loses the handle. Peterson, who comes up with yet another steal. And you can see Johnetta Hayes just saying, slow down.
Patience is what she mouthed. and you know, as a coach, it's just trying to get your team together. And she talked to us about that before the game. The biggest thing, take care of the ball. I said, it's one thing to say take care of the ball, but what does that look like against a team, against Southern, that really wants to get in front of you and force you to feel sped up? And it's just being on the same page. At that point, you almost felt like Alabama State looked like they were on an island. So just making sure that everybody understands the foundation of what their offense has to look like.
Well, she shared with us, she felt like her team was fortunate to walk away with victories during the regular season against Southern, and they face off in the biggest game of the season as taken out. The Jaguars will go to the free throw line after Delancey was pummeled on that jumper, whistled against Franklin.
Yeah, Franklin just went under her on the closeout, tried to avoid the contact, but just raised her on the bottom portion coming through. Yeah, that's just too much contact, and she took a while. Actually, Franklin took a while to get back up.
Olivia Delancey, the senior out of St. Petersburg, Florida. One of those intra-conference transfers we mentioned, came over from Florida A&M, was one of the Rattlers' top scorers, and now provides a spark off the bench for Southern.
Again, it's the depth for Southern that is the most impressive thing on how they've been able to find their success this season. They have 11 players averaging 10 or more minutes off the bench and 8 that are averaging 17. Like, how do you find that type of balance for everyone on the roster that feels like they can always contribute?
Right. I mean, you having played at Florida State and understanding just everyone
Never foul a jump shooter.
But how do you balance that? How difficult is that for Carlos Funches to say, hey, look, I've got a starting unit who goes out on the floor and I trust them, but I also got a number of players on the bench who can lift as well.
For your bench to be outscoring the starters, anyone can step up and hit the bucket. And we saw that with Jocelyn Tate that hit the game-winning bucket against Alabama A&M. And so
That's
for
impressive.
Florida State, I mean, I felt like I was one of those players like, hey, coach, I need a couple more ticks on the, I need a couple more minutes. But it's when the buy-in and everyone's ready, and it's how he's structured what it's going to look like. We've seen also multiple times after 1 or 2 minutes that there's someone at the scores table. So in that same breath, you never have to feel like they're tired. They're fresh all the time. And that's another thing that you're battling for Alabama State, is that you're going against fresh legs probably every 2 minutes.
The adjustments have been made, and now how does Alabama State climb out of this 14-point hole? Or correction, 15-point hole. Flowers probing, comes back out into the paint. And off the mark, but coming around with an offensive rebound. Also important, it rims out.
Alabama State getting the right looks. They just have not been able to connect, which can be a frustrating thing. But they cannot let that also dictate how their defense is going to be played. They have to continue to stay disciplined on what they're trying to force Southern to do.
One area where they've been able to get an advantage, and Cleara Peterson has been great in terms of steals, right? They've come away with 5 steals thus far. They've got to find ways to convert them into points. So far, no points off turnovers.
And on the other side, Southern has. I mean, for Alabama State's 10 turnovers, Southern has 11. So it's trying to flip the script in a way, but Alabama State just can't hold on to the ball. They have 5 turnovers in the last 2.5 minutes. Without the ball, you can't score. So again, knowing the spots on the floor where you know Southern is going to trap. I would, if I'm coach, look for more opportunities where you're not trying to beat them off the dribble. It's got to be the pass.
Off the screen, Delancey, quick trigger, and a traveling violation against the senior.
Yep, just 1 too many steps on that closeout.
Just for viewers tuning in, SWAC championship game between Southern Carlos Funches trying to pick up his 4th SWAC tournament title. Would be the 3rd in the last 4 years, and they could go back-to-back right now. They've got a 15-point lead against Alabama State in what is a rematch of the 2016 SWAC championship game where Alabama State last won.
Tiffany, on the take, I thought that Jocelyn Tate defensively did a great job into the 9th hour. So it's just how she came down with her hands at the top. I mean, with her length, and you can tell for Southern right now, the game plan is to make sure that Alabama State beats you from outside. A lot of the looks and where they found success was getting to the rim.
Well, just a reminder, lots of conference tournament action continuing today, including the semifinals for the SEC men. And tomorrow over on ESPN, the final will take place at 1 p.m. Eastern, live from Nashville, Tennessee. About Vandy and Florida. Of course, the Gators, the defending champion, but right now, the Doors feeling really good right now. It's great inside look as Dixon puts it in.
Tiffany, that's off of a made free throw. And about 4 seconds that came off the shot clock.
These are things where Donetta Hayes has to see her team make adjustments and try to clean up. Again, if they want to come back in this one down by double digits in the championship game, Flowers off the mark. It's been a tough shooting afternoon for the Hornets out in transition. There's Jocelyn Tate with the finish.
Get a TO, baby! Get a TO, baby!
Little Rock, Arkansas, who has been terrific in this SEC tournament. As you mentioned before, or rather SWAC tournament, as she has averaged double figures.
Need a TO, baby!
She's played here in Atlanta this week.
Tate coming off the bench and looking more like Flossie Johnson the other way because of her speed.
Oh, nice save there. And they're going to wave off the basket and say that was a blocking foul. So the basket does not count for Peterson. And instead, Alabama State's going to inbound.
Damn.
I would like to see why that wasn't continued. Okay, so the block was not.
Oh, the block was before the pass.
No good, obviously. It was on the drive. The foul was there. Okay. Just going to test my knowledge of the rules for a second.
And right now, you've seen Johnetta Hayes' teams. You saw it in the first quarter going for a 4+ minute scoring drought, approaching 4 minutes again without a bucket. They have to find ways to manufacture some points.
8 of their 12 points have come in the paint.
Another turnover.
They got you, but Amari Franklin was not successful there. Thought about Hurston into this before she put the ball on the hardwood.
Now, we did go back to the last game in the semis where we saw them very successful with the little pass off the back on the inbound, but time and place in this situation where every single possession is very important. That is the 12th turnover for the Lady Hornets.
Get that defense on.
Still
broke through. Damn, and one.
The glass. Good take.
Go ahead on, girl.
Good take by Shamaya Reed, rather, with the and one.
Damn.
As we mentioned, the points in the paint right now, Alabama State has been successful because of them. 10 of their 14 points have come with them putting the pressure on the backside.
On the fire time now.
The class. Count the bucket, and we got a free throw coming back.
29-14 is the score. 29-14 going into the half. I'm not saying it's impossible, but they got a lot of work to do. They got to go on not only a scoring streak, they got to stop turning the ball over. Alabama State. I mean, I'm not panicking yet if I'm Alabama State, but hell, I'm more concerned about turning the ball over. What's that? Turnover number 11, 12? So get them damn turnovers under control. And just like y'all been driving to the hole the last few minutes. Keep that going. You got to get somebody in foul trouble. Do something. But them coaches smart enough. They know way more than I do. I don't need to tell them anything. But tonight I will live stream the men's game. It'll come on. I'll probably stream about 10 minutes or 5 minutes before the game comes on, depending on ESPN who's playing before them. If they're gonna show it all the way through, or because they like to just throw us to the side. But we'll find out. But then the next actual live stream, I'll be live streaming the win the softball tournament also. So if you're a softball fan, you got anybody that like softball, let them know I'll be live streaming the softball tournament. Now the NCAA men's game and women, it's hard to live stream that tournament. So I don't think I'll be able to live stream those games. Probably have to do a watch along, but I don't like doing watch along. I'd rather people watch the game itself than anything else. But I know it's hard. The live stream. Folks make billions and trillions of dollars and get mad because you're sharing something. But they'll take your image and won't give you nothing. So that's just my take on that. All right, should be coming back on. God damn it. My bad. That was me. Shit. I hit the wrong button.
The SWAC championship game. Folks, if you're just tuning in, it's been all Southern. things have been going in their favor. They played a good half of basketball to this point, 60% from the floor. They're forcing turnovers. They're creating points off of those turnovers as well.
I think another thing that could have been added to that as well is the total rebound. You've mentioned just how important it was for Southern to rebound. They have the advantage 13-8. But another thing is because of the turnovers, they're not just holding on to the ball. They're saying we're going to make sure that we reward ourselves off of it. 13 fast break points. The adjustment has to be made because you're not just turning the ball over for Alabama State. Now you're watching them build the momentum with each possession. And can I go back to this band? Because just feeling the flavor for Southern come all the way over here to Atlanta now. As an Atlanta native and someone that's a Falcons fan, I'm not too thrilled with anything, New Orleans based.
Oh, no. But you see, they're about an hour away.
They're about an hour away from Baton Rouge. So it's like almost like that PTSD of just, they're great, but I can tell you what, it's been so much fun just to see the fans, the culture, everything come together. They're lighting this place up in Atlanta for a place where, for the Atlanta Dream, they have a sold-out crowd every single night. And there's no drop-off at the SWAC.
Well, the SWAC overall is terrific in attendance, and Southern University comes in #1 in attendance in the conference during this women's hoop season. And they will be in the stands later tonight as the men take the court for the championship game, as the Jaguars will face Prairie View A&M. So that should be another great one. Right now, the women trying to take care of business.
They're trying to take care of business, and now I have to write down going to a Southern game in Baton Rouge.
Oh,
thanks, Tiff.
Oh, nothing
Thanks,
like it.
Tiff.
Nothing like it. You don't see the my partner Jay Walker says you don't see the smoke. You just see the steam coming off for like the gumbo, the jambalaya, and etouffee. Oh, honey, it's great.
Oh, this is
one of the best places.
Yeah. Now Southern, y'all can't cook now.
There he is. She was trying.
Let's not go there, Southern. Y'all asses can't cook now.
There.
Leave that to us down in Orleans Parish.
So then you have an opportunity.
I know y'all can't cook.
The reset, you take
we
the
gonna
ball
go.
out
Now
down.
she's
What
pushing.
going to look like? This is
a little slide with the New Orleans coming in a little earlier. But now they pushing it. Talking about
space
food
as well.
Ain't no damn good food in Baton Rouge.
And with space comes cutting. I would love to see Edwards. If she's going to bring her that high to defend, get more action towards the rim without the ball.
Deep into the shot clock now, and Alabama State's got to put something up soon. Flowers puts it up from 3, no good. And they're going to say last touch by Peterson.
They should have one more media timeout.
This Alabama State team, who we talked about, was #1 in the conference in rebounding, having some challenges here, and not looking the same as what we saw just earlier this month in that regular season, their last regular season matchup. How do they regain it? They've got to do something on the defensive end. But no stopping right there. Ain't no stopping Deshante Edwards on her way to the hoop. Known for her great defense, putting up points as well. Only one of the returning starters from last year's NCAA tournament team. And of course, made history, Angel, with their first ever win in the NCAA tournament.
And when you look down the line for Southern, it's players averaging 5, 6, 7, maybe 9, but everyone is getting a little piece of the pie for Edwards. That's a beautiful take, reading the lane, but look at the box out underneath too. Harrison creating some space for that layup and continuing to do that. I would bring more attention on the inside for Harrison, unless Harrison is like, thank you.
That's a nice shot she had.
Knocking him down. She
That's
is
a nice shot.
3 for 3.
Number 20,
downtown.
Yeah. She got a nice shot on her.
Zaria Hurston, who has found her groove in this first half. And there is some discussion at this 3-minute mark with our officiating crew, Stephanie Barksdale, Deonta Williams, along with Sarah Flaring, our officiating crew.
And they just told both teams to go to their respective benches. But going back to this replay, Harrison taking up some of the attention on the inside. So what does that do? It causes everyone to sink in. And on the closeout, you're too late. Hurston has been the threat from the outside. She already has 8 points in this ball game. It feels like she has 15.
Yeah.
And I think she can be a player right now in this game that could be hunting another career high for herself, knowing that the previous has been 21. But how fluid she's looked on the offensive side, especially from deep, is danger zone for the Lady Hornets.
To the right. So currently there is an official review. We saw some conference from the referees and trying to gain clarity as to what it is they're discussing. Meanwhile, I'll let you know that coming up on the Sargento halftime report, we'll take you to the studio to look at highlights from around Champ Week and look at projected tournament seeds. Of course, we also know that the reveal is coming tomorrow. Later today at 3 p.m., the last top 16 reveal, but something new that they're doing this year is in alphabetical order. And of course, we will find out where everyone is going in the field of 68 for the women on Sunday.
Well, Tiff, I got some information for you.
Bring it in.
So a lot transpired in that last possession where we thought that Hurston knocked down another 3, but that has been waved off. It's a correctional point in the game where they can say they're going to go back and correct the call. They said that Harrison on the inside was actually fouling.
What?
So because Alabama State is in the bonus, they're going to put number 6 on the free throw line to shoot.
Okay.
This is some wild shit here.
No basket for
No
Hurston.
basket for Hurston.
We're going to go back to the previous possession for Alabama State, and they have free throws upcoming.
Yes.
And that is why, Angel Gray, I'm delighted to sit next to you.
Well, you know, it's always, first of all, I'm fangirling right now. Don't put the pressure on me, sis.
That's bullshit.
See, Tiffany.
Oh,
Tiffany,
I love you. Lots. And right now you can see at half court,
They waved off
both
the basket.
coaches trying to get clarification as to what the call
They
is.
blew the
So
whistles
Carlos
late.
Bridges has a couple of more comments, but it's all clear. And now we'll get back to action shortly.
Yeah, it was a block foul, so you saw Harrison underneath that was trying to clear out that space. Because of that, it's the foul that was called on this end, so Hurston's free, no good. But because Alabama State is in the bonus with that foul, they are now going to go shoot free throws. So here we are.
And we'll take a look at what transpired for your words to match the video.
Yeah, I would like to see it too, because underneath you were just talking about, you see right under there, as this is flipped. Yep, exactly.
Huh?
Number 6.
They ain't got a damn thing.
Kyria Flowers is going to go to the free throw
Oh,
line. The
man,
freshman
hell with it.
Fort Lauderdale.
I ain't even gonna try to explain that. Damn.
Talking to the coaching staff, they feel like Flowers has shouldered a lot of responsibility running a team at the point guard position in her first year. She's done a very good job and has a very promising future.
It was
One more college basketball tournament action is continuing today, including the American men's semifinals in Birmingham, Alabama. And tomorrow, the American finals will be over on ESPN. Tip at 3:15 Eastern. We'll tell you the number of trips that Alabama State has taken to the free throw line. They're 5 of 7 from the line so far in this half. And under 3 minutes to go, they will shoot free throws the rest of the way, along with Southern, where good look from Jalea Reed. Foul on the 3 in the making one.
Hey.
There are some players
on the scouting report
Good night.
that will hunt
Good
you
night.
if you do not follow it. Reed is one of them. When she walks to the scores table, I would send a defender there. Because
Now
when
that
she
was a
checks
hell of a
in,
shot.
she's already looking for the ball. She's one step away from being from Alabama State's bench when she launched that. Again, going back to the stat where she shoots 77% of her field goals are coming from the outside. She is money.
Tops in the SWAC at 3-point percentage. 59 now made threes for Reed. And she completes the 4-point play to extend the lead for Southern. On the drive, the take,
Nice.
and it's off the glass and in. Shamaya Reed. Shamaya Reed, who has been a bright spot on the offensive end. That one dropping for her 5th point of the half to lead all Hornet scores.
And she has found success against this team, as I mentioned. 2 games against Southern where she scored in double figures. She's added to it with the 6 assists. Now, what does it look like today? She has to continue to be aggressive, especially on the right side. And what a defensive effort we're seeing. You can see the energy in that shift coming off of from when that was reversed. Being a block, but a charge call. When they went to the free throw line, it was almost like things started to go right for Alabama State.
Just that energy you talked about from Franklin and some quality minutes off the bench. Meanwhile, Shamaya Reed, who is adding to that bench production on the offensive end. And now the final 2 minutes of the first half of this SWAC championship game. Alabama State hasn't won it since 2016. Reed taking her time, puts up the 3, and won't go down, losing the handle. And how about the scrappiness, getting on the floor, understanding what's at stake by Nikeria Flowers. The jump ball is going to go with the Southern Jaguars, but you love to see the hustle from the first-year point guard.
What I love most is the effort. Nikeria Flowers, right as you're waiting, went airborne, almost looked like the Rodman poster, to try and find another opportunity on the floor. Yes, it goes to Southern, but it's those type of plays that everyone sees what the max effort needs to be.
Over to Tate. Tate trying to create a little bit of separation. No call there. Trying to come down with it. And it's going to be Southern basketball as the Hornets, Walters, Norman couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah, love the look. Try to get up. It was a good take by Tate. And right here, just the swipe away. And honestly, I don't think that even went out of bounds. Southern would have had it underneath with the ball anyway. So here we are to almost play on, and the 3, of course, in the corner.
Cunningham drills the 3. 4 of 6 from beyond the arc this afternoon for Southern. They're the top 3-point shooting team in terms of percentage in the conference at 32%.
All right, the link's gonna be dropped.
They're well above their average here this afternoon. Nice dish inside, but the offensive foul in the process going against Reed. And they hand it right back over.
Yeah, so now the idea is if Reed is going to get to the bucket, first let's go back to Southern. What a beautiful drive kick. First Tate on the money to Cunningham. And then now if Reed is going to try and get to the paint, you step up, you sacrifice the body. Great defensive series for Southern.
There's no crying in basketball.
Tate. Moving to Delancey. Delancey too strong. And then a foul going against Destiny Dixon. Alabama State will head back to the charity stripe.
Second in for the Hornets. The 23.
With all the fouls that have been racked up for both teams to be in the bonus, and I think someone tried to get in a little sooner than they were called to be.
Walters Norman will go back to the scores table, but start to look at even for Harrison for Southern. 3 personal fouls now. What is that going to look like for her time in the second half? But again, if we may say it, the depth. You are now looking at, for Southern, 2 to 3 players that are shooting and have more points than they've had throughout the season on their average. So it's like you take one person out, it's like a weed. Another one pops up.
You can't miss your free throw, sweetheart.
But this is going to be a different turnaround than the regular season meetings, as Alabama State led at the half in those previous 2 meetings earlier this year, and now Southern is looking to extend the lead, and does so at the buzzer. Olivia Delancey, the sharpshooter from long range, put the exclamation point on the first half.
I'm sorry, is this the same Olivia Delancey that knocked down 4 triples in the previous game? You can't miss her as well. What a beautiful
reception
for them.
Plank Road.
Look
at Plank Road.
And have been so lights out on the first half, shooting close to 60% from the field.
What a collection of 20 minutes for Southern University as we take another look at the bucket. Again, you got to find the Jaguars beyond the arc, because when somebody like Olivia Delancey heaves it up, oh yeah, you know it's got a good shot of going down. We'll send it over to Zubin Mahimti in the studio for halftime. Zubin.
All right, there we go. That's the first. That is the what's the name? That's the first half. And as you can see, Southern is not playing the radio. Them folks on Plank Road, them country son bitches, boy, you ain't gonna be able to tell them nothing. All right, man, but it's all good. The link is dropped, and Alabama State, you need more than a little prayer. You need a little bit more than prayer, man, for y'all to come back. That's what Southern is 5 for 7 from behind the arc. That's 18 points. Y'all only got about 21 points, so just 3-point shots alone, they just about beating y'all behind. Oh man. The hate for SU is real. Ain't nobody hating on SU. You know y'all live out there on Plank Road. Hey, Doc, you up in here? What's good?
What's going on?
Well, man, I can't call it. What's happening with you, my brother?
Man, enjoying this good old day off from work, man. I just got another job, so shoot, just doing what I do. I
hear you, man. So you off on the weekends now?
Yeah, I've been off on weekends. I just got another job. I'm with the ops. I'm with CVS now instead of Walgreens.
Oh, okay. Hey, man. Hey, it is what it is. Hey, man. It still pay. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
So, yeah, I was talking about the reason why Alabama A&M really not going to go to the tournament on the women's side is because our league, the conference, is a one big league. So you got a lot of these. So you got a lot of these, like our conference, the OVC, what up, Crook? The OVC, like Northeast Conference, like the MEAC, Southland. So they're not going to send. They're only going to send one team, into the tournament.
Yeah,
now I wish we could.
I don't mean to cut you off. I understand that, man, but I just need to see that fairness throughout the league, throughout all of the women. Because here you are, you have the second longest winning streak in the women's game, and you won your conference. I just think the conference champion should count just as much as the tournament champion. But I understand exactly what you're saying. But I just think it's messed up that they would do those ladies like that. So, but go ahead, brother. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, but that's the only thing, and I think they should qualify. If I'm not mistaken, they should qualify for the WBIT. Yeah.
So I hope so. I mean, because that's a good team. It's just Southern, they was just just as good last year, but they run it. It's hard, man, when you got two squads that actually can play. Like if you look, the bench points are outscoring the starters. I think it's 36-21. So when you run up on a team like that, they'll just run you to death. So congratulations to them. I don't. Do you think Alabama State gonna come back in this one?
They to me, they don't have a consistent, scorer because they don't even have. Here's the thing: they don't even have a player that's scoring in double figures.
Damn. So it just
the highest player that scores close to 9 points a game. So you got like 3 players that score like 9 points a game, almost 9 points a game, or 8 points a game. So they don't have the consistent scoring from somebody. Like they don't have nobody that can actually take over a game.
Take over the game, yeah. To me, they got too many. They turning the ball over too much, and they're not stopping them from. They're not stopping Southern from scoring. I think they got 2 turnovers, and I think it's 10 fast break points or something like that they have, some stat like that. So it's hard. It's hard. I'm not saying they can't come back, but it's gonna be real hard for them. So, in my opinion,
yeah, it's gonna be hard for them to come back. Because that team wasn't built like that. Now, I think Coach Hayes, go into the next season, but before next season come around, she get her somebody that can actually put the ball in the basket.
Mm-hmm. That's a question. Why can't they win the regular season? I don't know. I thought some girls.
It's one of them things, man. Like when you get it, so like when you think about it, when you get into tournament time, Whitley, it's one of them things where if you hot, you hot. Those records go out the window. Mm-hmm. Really, the records go out the window. So having a double bye and of course, the 3 through 6 didn't play till Thursday. Mm-hmm. So if you're a team like, let's say on the men's side, right? Say you're a team like Prairie View, right? They what the AC.
Yeah.
But are they playing like an AC?
No. You gotta remember Prairie View started off pretty hot on the first part of SWAC conference play. They were they was doing. Then they hit just a horrible streak and just like everybody forgot about them. So and then they in the tournament they've been coming through. But another thing about the tournament that I don't like when you talked about the bids, with one team bid, but aren't we like only the HBCUs or the conference? Our tournament champions. HBCU tournament champions, we always end up in the first 4.
Yeah, but guess what though? Mm-hmm. You gonna get the NCAA gonna pay for it.
Yeah,
they're gonna pay for the travel for the team and the cheerleaders and the pep band and stuff like that. And guess what? You get to the dance, you get to the first 4, you get money, and guess who else get money? The conference get money.
Yeah, I got that. My thing is, I just don't think that as a tournament champion, you should be in the first 4. You should have a 10, 5, 6, whatever seed it may be. But I got the thing, and I'm glad they're paying for it. They need to pay for a lot more in NCAA. I just don't like that because you have a team that barely made the tournament. Like prime example, somebody out the SEC. That'll probably barely make the tournament, and they'll get slated as a 14 seed instead of them playing in that first 4.
Right. So my thing about it too is okay, I'm gonna go another team, a team like Howard, the women's, right? They balling. They 25-7. You know, they 25-7. They played the BA championship later on today. They win. Some people projecting them to be a 16 seed. I don't see a 16 seed in them. I see maybe like a no more than a 14 seed. Because guess what? A 16 seed, you're gonna get fed to another, you're gonna get fed to a number 1 seed. You're gonna get fed to a UConn, or you'll get to a
South Carolina or somebody
South
like
Carolina,
that.
or even if Texas win the Big 12, I think they won the Big 12 not Big 12, but the SEC. Yeah, they won the SEC. So Texas is gonna be a number 1 seed. They get fed to them. It's like I want to see competition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just think that they throw weight behind a tournament champion from a PWI way more. And then when they get upset, it's like, oh, they upset. They just as like anybody else. I just don't like to see, the playing in the first 4. I got it. Glad you made it, but I just think they need to be in a regular 64, and they don't need to be in no 16 seed or no 15 seed because you're a conference champion. Think about it. What other conference champion that you know that's a 14, 15, or 16 seed or has to play in the play-in game? I just think that's not fair. Now, if they was doing it to other conference champions, make them play in games or make them a 15 seed or 16 seed, okay, I got that. But I know it's HBCUs and they really don't care. They just can sit there and say, oh, yeah, you're in there, because the majority of the players on the men and women's side are black athletes. So I think they're doing this stuff out of, I guess, not sympathy or nothing. We just got to do it, because I think.
I see it. That's the reason why, if you have a strong out-of-conference schedule.
Mm-hmm. That's another thing.
Having a strong out-of-conference schedule and winning certain games in your quadrant, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? In your strength of schedule, like that should kind of boost it up. But because in the SWAC, we all play a hard out of conference schedule because we all we on the road majority of the time early in the season.
But the first 10, 12 games or something like that?
First 10, 12 games we on the road. Yeah. We might have one home game, 1 or 2 home games in between, but those first 10, 12 games we on the road, and by the time we get out the road, when conference play start, it is not a sprint. It is a marathon.
Yes.
Because with us, you got 18 games. You probably only play one team. You only gonna play a team one time, and you're gonna play a team twice.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at it on the men's side with Jackson State. Mo scheduled one of the hardest out of conference schedules, where he had University of Houston, he played Iowa State, they played all these other schools, and most of it, just to get you got to get the money and stuff like that to boost boost up the program.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. How much money? I don't know. I'm asking, how much money do they get paid to play a team like the University of Houston?
With that, you could probably get about $100,000.
$100,000? Okay. I'm just asking. I don't know.
Because basketball is different from football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. You my thing, basketball also, you're only taking no more than 20 people on the road with you. And I'm talking trainers, coaches, players,
right.
That's a big difference. So, okay.
Right.
Gregory saying 100.
100, 200,000. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's a good haul right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I would divide it up though. I would play at Houston. Then I would go play like in football in Louisiana Monroe. You know, I'm not saying they're gonna give you 100,000 now. I'm not. I know ULM don't have 100,000, but I
think ULM gave Jackson State 300. And I think they gave him 350
in football.
Yeah.
But I would play them in basketball also. So
they probably won't give you 100,000. They probably give you maybe like 50 to 60,000.
Yeah, I'd take that, man. So, but I would definitely, if I was Mo or whoever, I would definitely sit there and mix it up. Because I mean, if you look at Jackson State's out of conference schedule, it was like, damn. Now I looked at Southern and some other teams, and I'm like, oh, okay. So they went, for the juggler, and then they went for the not low hanging fruit, but what you would consider mid majors. And I'm like, okay. Now was it Grambling and somebody else beat Missouri? So they can beat SEC schools, man. At times, they can beat other PW schools at times. They got to just pick the right one. So
yeah,
I would pick the school. Like I would pick somebody that was willing to pay me $100,000, knowing that I got a real good chance of beating you. Because I guarantee you, was it Missouri? I know that, like, damn, this is the damn second year in a row, a damn SWAC school and beat us. So, and
remember on the women's side 2 years ago when Coach Storm was over at Pine Bluff, she went over there and she beat Arkansas.
Yes. But Southern this year was it this season they beat Arizona?
Arizona, yeah, that was this season. It was this season.
Yeah, so it can be there, so. All right, brother, the game back on, man. I'll holler back at you at the end of the game. I'm gonna put people back up. Drop the link again.
All right.
All right.
Yeah,
bro. All right. All right, the game's back on.
Right away to the rim, the bucket for the inside. That's off of a baseline drive. That's something that the Lady Hornets are very good at, but most importantly, Tiffany, it was under control.
Another look here. You talked about the patience that Coach Hayes told her team. And when you look at this drive, complete patience, complete control, and Peterson with the hoop and on.
I think for Peterson, what will be overlooked in that too, but should be mentioned, is her ability to move up the line. And when I say that, it's where you line up on the free throw line. When your guard is driving baseline, you give them space to get to the rim. Her ability to move just up the line got her the ball and an opportunity to finish at the charity stripe.
What's at stake for both of these teams? For Southern, trying to make it back to the NCAA tournament for the second year in a row, as that's a nice baseline drive by DeShante Edwards. And for Alabama State, so they're seeking their fourth ever NCAA tournament appearance, and slicing through was Kaylee Simpson, off the mark there, but she's fouled on the way to the hoop.
Southern with an opportunity for some program history to not cut down the nets once but twice and go back-to-back in the title game. But while we're excited about that and it makes for good TV, Coach Funch is saying we're not worried about that. We're worried about doing the little things right. We saw a lot of that done right in the first half. Let's see if they can carry it over.
Kaylee Simpson at the free throw line, the junior out of Columbus, Georgia, with 14 points in that meeting, or second meeting rather, against Southern earlier this month. This week, Simpson, who's dropped 12 points in each of the tournament games, knocks down both free throws. So Southern led by as many as 22 points in that first half. If you're looking at the score, Angel, how does Alabama State work their way back in?
Well, keeping the ball. Turnovers have been an issue for them all season. And that is one of their weaknesses. They're last in the nations for turnovers per game. Now, will you let that dictate how you go into the championship game, knowing the type of defense that Southern has? That's up to them.
We saw in the first half they gave up 13 turnovers. In this half, a lot like what we saw on the first drive, it was under control, the communication was there, and everybody did their part moving where the ball was on the floor. If they take care of the ball, they create more possessions for themselves to really start hitting themselves in this lead or cutting away at it.
Jocelyn Tate, the stop, turnaround, no. Coming up with the basketball, a lot of Pooler and the Hornets. Simpson once again, this time forcing the issue amongst a couple of defenders, but Alabama State comes with it. Nikeria Flowers off the mark, and Jocelyn Tate out and running.
I think Simpson had the right idea of the aggression part, but when you see two bodies where Southern put themselves in a position where they were not going to foul. So someone's open. I would like to see addition, more passing for Alabama State.
Kick out, no good on the three-point attempt by Cunningham. And Tate slow to get up as it's going to be Alabama State basketball. Well, again, just a remarkable turnaround that we have seen in the first season with Johnetta Hayes, as she took over a program that was 9-50 over the last 2 seasons. She has since righted the ship in Montgomery, Alabama, finds herself in the championship game. The Hornets have some work to do.
And she's proven, when you're going back to Johnetta Hayes, the head coach for Alabama State. I mean, she's had some trips before this job here with Alabama State where she's proven herself. She won the conference championship back in 2016, 2017, and also finished first in the SWAC 3 consecutive years. So she understands the blueprint of what it needs, what they need to win.
The offensive rebound and creating points off of that. The first, second chance points for Alabama State.
Every huddle I see Flowers or Peterson having a conversation. Chase, it's a challenge. Like she can, because of how fiery she is, I almost feel like she can throw on a jersey still. But there is no quit. There is no backing down. And I know that they have a lot of work to do right now to cut in, to chip into this lead Southern has. But Flowers and how she came out at halftime, she's setting the tone for how they want this season to end.
What did we hear Coach Hayes tell them? Look, you've got to get back to your identity, who we are. We are gritty and we are aggressive. Flowers somehow corralled that one, but no, off the mark.
If that would have been pretty and would have caused some oohs and ahs the way she was able to break through the two and get to the basket, but just too much speed, caught herself under the rim.
Flowers, freshman on the roster out of Fort Lauderdale. And Jemiah Porter takes a seat for Southern.
Right now, I think there's a lot of confusion about who subbed in, who subbed out. And so the officials just took some time. I think Hurston was saying, I just subbed in.
So Carlos Funches, eighth-year man out of Southern University, just trying to make sure that he gets the player he wants on the court. We saw Porter take a seat and Hurston still on the floor. But it's going to be Porter who comes back. So Jemiah Porter, the sophomore, back on the floor. And Hurston awaits at the table. Flipped over, Flowers, corner, three, no. And McClendon tried to pull it away. She had possession, calls a timeout. So Bama State is awarded the timeout. We will step aside here as well with 7:07 to go in the third quarter.
We outside. All right. Alabama State look like they coming back with a little bit more fire, but will it be enough? That's all I'm saying. Is it too little, too late? Will it be enough? But coming up later on tonight, we're going to be watching our pair view in our Southern, the men's side. Winner takes all. And that's Eastern time. So we've, for my Central time folks, it's an hour, we're an hour behind them. But they look a lot better. They came out with more determination and fire on this half than they did the first half. So, never know. But if Southern start warming up again behind that three-point line, it's going to be some trouble. But everybody that's coming in and just tuning in, make sure you hit that like button. That's all I can say. So, yeah, so Southern, Southern is not playing. It's not playing around. But it might Alabama State, you should have came out with that fire like that in the first half instead of waiting to that third quarter. The outdoor track is coming up also. I don't know if that's going to be held on SWAC TV or not. This summer, if you live in like Dallas, Houston, Kansas City, Atlanta, the World Cup is coming. And if you've never been to a World Cup, I went to the World Cup twice, once in Germany and once in South Africa. The amount of people that's going to invade your city, sometimes during pool play, you might have 3 days of games in your city. So like a place like Dallas or Houston or Atlanta, if you think traffic is bad now, it's 10 times worse than that. Because see, we don't have the infrastructure like the Europeans do, where everybody can ride trains and all that other stuff. So, okay, I think we're back.
In the first half, and we already talked about it, the largest lead was at 22.
It's now 13.
We show up for both halves because of moments like this.
Taken away. There's Simpson once again, and Kaylee Simpson on the defensive end. Can the Hornets come away with points? And she tries to split two defenders. Tough take through.
Good girl.
As she was fouled.
You go, girl.
So there was a point in the first half where Coach was looking at her team, and Kaylee Simpson in particular, and said, wake up. I think they got the message. The effort on the glass, the effort on the defensive end. Southern has turned it over 4 times in the last 3 minutes. They have taken a page out of Southern's book and said, checkmate. And have gotten stops and have created more offense for themselves early in the shot clock. Now, yes, you have to knock down your free throws, but it's the opportunity for them to put themselves in a position where they are not out of this game.
I love what you said just moments ago about the sense of urgency that this Hornet team came out of the locker room with, and understanding that there isn't much pressure. That's what Coach Hayes told us before the game, and instead she says, we just need to find ways to make plays.
And you know what I love about that, Tiffany? Because she said that is my note to them. There's no pressure. But that doesn't mean there's no urgency. And there's a very fine line of saying there's no pressure, go out and play, but having a sense of urgency to be who we are.
Sensing that, as you see a smile on the face of Coach Hayes, it forces Southern into a timeout.
I told y'all.
Down by a dozen, and this Alabama State team has come out of the locker room surging here to start this third quarter.
Hey, you never know, man. You never knew. You never know. Is it too little, too late, though? That's the situation. But they playing a whole lot better than what they did in the first half. You can tell. Coach probably went up in there and slammed a few chairs and table and said a few choice words. And the team responded. So they well, all I can say is buckle up. So but anyway, what else is coming up, man? Baseball, of course. You know I'm a baseball fanatic. I won't be streaming that tournament because I will be at Brickwood. I'm going to the tournament. I went last year. I had a good time. Wasn't too many people there, but I still like it. And Brickwood, that's the oldest Major League Baseball field in the nation. And that field is where all the Negro League stars came from. Well, not from. They came through there and played. You name them: Sadra Page, Josh Gibson, Cool Papa Bell. I can keep going on and on and on and on with those names, but they all played at that field, and I just owe respect to them for a game that I never really organized and played. But baseball was always my favorite sport, and I'm pretty good at calling pitches and balls and strikes and all that other stuff. Now, I might mess around and stream a game or two, but I know it's hard for folks to sit there and watch baseball. But if you see me streaming baseball, grab you some little peanuts and popcorn and Cracker Jacks and a couple of cold beers and watch the game. Because sometimes the SWAC is funny. It look like a football score out there. The score would be 16-21. But it's all good, though. I got to go up to Chicago, Perryview, and somebody else is playing in Chicago, so I'll be watching that. I mean, not watching me there.
Center Arena, and in this SWAC championship game, things are getting a little bit more interesting between Southern and Alabama State, as we've seen a different hunger from the Hornets.
Oh, Crook up in here. Crook, since you said they talking about it getting ugly, they on Southern ass. You better go down the Plank Road and talk to them.
They've been able to do on the defensive end. But most importantly, they're getting good looks at the rim on the other side. Flowers has been a huge catalyst for them.
The SWAC don't have soccer.
Being that type of player that said, okay, let me reset.
They have ladies soccer
here, and it was from her leading the way.
Lulu has a men's soccer team.
Taking care of the ball. I also have to credit Haley Simpson, who's been able to step up, and we've seen a different look from her. Now that was called as a block or a foul there, and I would love to see that because McGlendon, from our angle, looked like that was all ball.
Yeah, Crook like to show up when Southern is winning. Southern losing, Crook disappears.
Off-arm push-off against Flowers.
Nothing wrong with women's soccer. Man, Crook, I ain't playing with you, man.
So McClendon, who was whistled for a personal foul. And usually, Angel, we would see coaches signal an appeal,
yes,
regarding who the foul was on, or was it a foul? But
I think they had an opportunity to do that, but in Arena, I also heard that they were looking for a potential flop from Flowers at the table. But nonetheless, they said, you know what, stack it up. It doesn't matter. The and one underneath, it can potentially make this a 10-point game. In all the confusion, that's something that's very clear.
You see the drive and then dish. Pooler finishing, and she goes to the free throw line. Lana Pooler, the junior out of Houston, Texas. Her mother, Adina Pooler, is the SWAC's deputy commissioner.
Wow.
So very familiar around these SWAC parts. Just like that, a 3-point play, and now it's a 10-point ball game. Alabama State is on fire right now.
Look at the tenacity from Flower.
And we saw a Southern team who shot nearly 60% in that first half. They can't buy a bucket in this third quarter. Flowers, how does she do it? Blocked by Tate. A great sequence on both ends. Tate leading the break, kicks it out. Delancey launching. 3, she got it. Just when they needed it, Olivia Delancey dials it up.
I can't explain to you how good that series was. Flowers beating the entire second line in the dish with the block by Tate and the response by Delaney on the other end for the triple. It's just fantastic basketball.
Whoa. Folks, if you're just tuning in, it's the right time to do so because this is going to be an interesting close to the SWAC championship game. Another look here, what you're talking about, Angel.
The cradle. 3 people that she went past and she said, not tonight. What a great series. Time and time again, Jocelyn Tate coming up with big plays. Gentle reminder for those who didn't watch the semis, Jocelyn Tate also stepped up and hit the game-winning bucket. And how about the back-to-back buckets by Olivia Delancey? 5 points in about 45 seconds for Southern.
Simpson too strong. McClendon comes away with it. And a foul underneath the basket. That one goes against Ashante Edwards. But remember NBA Jam? When you hit 2 shots in a row, they say what?
That thing on fire.
Heating up. I love it. I love it, yes. Oh, man. Yeah, you can put a little circle flame around it right now. That's for sure.
Charlize Tree McClendon at the free throw line. McClendon, who is transferring from Waycross, Georgia.
Waycross, Georgia.
Played at East Georgia State.
That's down there on Highway 84, 82.
To this ball club again. The right kind
Down there, time or two.
player for Jonetta Hayes.
Yeah, and then also coming over, Kaylee Simpson, both playing at East Georgia State. So having that rapport of what it's like to crash the boards. A huge rebounder for them as well, averaging 7 rebounds a game, just under what she averages in points.
Both free throws made. And McClendon will get a breather.
She's earned it. I'm smiling from ear to ear when we see a great game, something that looked like it might have been out of reach for Alabama State, but they said we've got other plans, and I'd love to see this type of effort from them in the second half.
Well, understanding season on the line, Delancey loses the handle for just a second, picks it up, no offensive rebound collected by the Jaguars, and on the putback, a foul on Demaya Porter.
The 7th offensive rebound for Southern.
Third team foul, checking it now for the Hornets. 22.
And something that Alabama State has done a good job at, I think it's just a 6, excuse me, is even if they do collect it, they haven't given up many second chance points for it as well. So we did mention how good Alabama State is on the glass. Southern has crept in a little bit on the boards. As you can see, all SWAC first team when it comes to that. So I think it is important for them to continue to see if they can clean up and put back immediately for Southern.
Shemaya Reed has it over to the Hornets, Kaylee Simpson. Spin move for Reed, tough shot, and it spins out. It's playing pinball, finally in the hands of Southern. On the break, Reed over to Cunningham, the runner in. And so Southern was able to take the blows early on for Alabama State in the first part of the third quarter, and since then, they've come back swinging.
It's like a heavyweight fight you love to see, because why not? It's for a title. And that zone has really disrupted Alabama State.
Credit to Maya Porter with some good defense there. Tough around the rim, second team all-conference performer for the Jaguars. It's 24. And Southern Blue, she gets the ball back. Looking back to Cunningham. Got to get moving. 4 on the shot clock. Bounce pass over. Porter looks, knocks it down.
That's high IQ basketball. You see two people coming at you with a different color jersey, stop, pivot, look around, see who's open, and right in the good spot on the floor, in the hole, gets a good look and finish.
Reed launched the three. She hits.
That is a huge bucket for Alabama State as they missed their previous 5 field goals. And they didn't want to close out this quarter with the momentum in a complete shift to Southern.
Southern being patient on offense. And the runner baseline won't fall for Dixon. Coming up with it is Kaylee Simpson. Simpson nearly lost it, recovered by the Hornets. Reed looking inside. Bryant, no, right there on the offensive rebound. No putback there for Peterson. Another attempt. And outrunning on the break, Chastity Dixon by herself, and she finishes.
Chastity Dixon.
A lot of frustration for Peterson, who had 3 good looks underneath the rim. Woo! I feel you.
Yeah, it's been like that since the third quarter started. And the second half. How about that, Kaylee Simpson? All right now, we see you in the corner. Knockdown, just their second triple, both coming in the last couple of minutes for Alabama State.
She has to get going. She leads the team in scoring. We have not called her name enough today.
7-second differential shot clock and game clock. So Alabama State does have the opportunity to get the ball back. Cunningham dribbling. Trying to look inside. Porter
Good pass.
puts it in. Tamaya Porter in this third quarter has looked great.
Damn.
And oh boy, 3 quarters in the books of this SWAC championship game. And hey, look, you look at the score, don't worry about that, because things can change and turn around in this fourth quarter. It can get hot real quick and already did.
Just like there. What?
Do y'all think they got enough to put it in? I don't know. It's going to be hard to pull it off. That's all I can say. I ain't saying you can't do it. I thought they was going to damn commercial. Damn. Okay, I'm about to say, man, I knew that shit was going to happen. I knew they was going to commercial. I guess they want everybody to see the cheerleaders. Y'all think Alabama State can actually come back? Southern looking strong. I don't know. Crook keep talking shit. Southern might mess around and lose. Crook, you a jinx. That's all I can say. But anyway, so it's a lot better because I was fearing a blowout in the third quarter, but you know they got a little fight in them. We got to see how much dog they got left up in them. A dog will fight you to the death. So we'll find out in a few seconds. Because if it's what's her name coming down the 3-point shooting, big girl from Southern, she ain't playing the radio. And the sad thing about it, though, the talent that she has, the WNBA won't even look at her. That's why a lot of these women are going to play in different leagues, the Italian league, the other European leagues. That, the WNBA, they just like anybody else in the rest of these leagues. You come from HBCU, they try to find everything wrong with you. And then they'll draft a player from a PWI. That player don't turn out to be crap, making millions of dollars for being mediocre. So that's why I'm not too big on professional sports. Now I watch like the NBA Finals, the Super Bowl. I watch the Chicago Bears and Yankees baseball, but most of that professional sports, I'm not interested in that shit. I think it's just crazy how they do stuff. Like, how the hell you draft this guy or this girl? So, but hey, that's what billionaires do. They find their friends and they listen to those little goofy scouts that I talk to. Them damn scouts have no interest in drafting anybody from the HBCUs. And then you have a black scout that didn't go to an HBCU. And so he got to look out for the conference that he went to school at. I met a guy like that. He plays something for the Cincinnati Bengals and shit like that. I told him, I said, I don't even know what the hell, you throwing that title around like that, like you're a black person in a real title. You ain't even looking at nobody in the HBCU world. I tell him it's jealousy. I tell him, hey, without the HBCU football, you wouldn't have an NFL. So that's me. That's just my opinion. But I met several folks like that. I'm black too, and I work at blah, 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 and I went to school at so-and-so, and HBCUs are this, that, and I would love to, man, you ain't love to do shit. Take your ass back up to goddamn it, Oregon. San Jose State. Mind-boggling. Michigan. Eastern Michigan. So... yeah.
Covered on Selection Sunday. Once again, it all starts at 6 Eastern with SportsCenter on ESPN. Remember, the women's field of 68 is revealed with a complete breakdown of each match at 9 Eastern. Meanwhile, if you're just tuning in, hey, it was big Bama State energy in that third quarter, outscoring Southern 23-17. Still plenty of ball game left. 10 minutes to decide the 2026 SWAC champion.
But I love the fact that they gave us a game, and the keywords here, sense of urgency for Alabama State shifted. Now, I do believe the freshman in Flowers was a huge catalyst in that. And then right out of the gate, they're forcing Southern with more time, taking it off the shot clock. It has to be a little bit more of that in the fourth.
Hurston puts it up, baseline, mid-range, falls. Zaria Hurston, who has had herself a really nice afternoon. 10 points now.
Like 9 minutes left.
Hurston was quiet in the third. That's her first bucket since the half.
Good ball movement. Pooler with the look for three, won't fall. And Porter hauls in the rebound.
Good girl.
Porter, a player who's just been a cornerstone in the interior for Carlos Funches this season after playing about 5 to 7 minutes last year. A lot of experience ahead of her. Porter now looking for it, asking for it, has position the mismatch, and the foul away from the basketball goes against Amari Franklin. Carlos Funches already with 14 SWAC tournament wins after picking up that big one Friday against Alabama A&M. And now his team less than 10 minutes away from repeating as SWAC tournament champions. Hurston, who's perfect from three-point range, and she remains that way. Drains it.
Yeah, she got a nice shot on her.
Points in the first half. She has 7 in the last 2 possessions.
Flowers trying to knife through. No, Hurston comes up with the rebound.
Excuse me, Kai. And that's a tough lane. I could see it right away. Just had an awkward fall.
Good sportsmanship. Reed helped up by Flowers. It's going to be Hornet basketball.
Hornets number 2, Shamaya Reed.
Well, again, we talked about it at the start of the broadcast, Angel. Alabama State had Southern's number this season, beating them twice in the regular season. It's always difficult to beat a great team 3 times. And that one from Pooler drops once again from downtown. Lana Pooler, who had a career-high 17 points in their first meeting this season against the Jaguars.
The execution of that is to get the defense to move. And on the last part, to get to the 3, it was a quick pass to the top, pass back to the wing for the shift of the defense at the top. And it was executed beautifully. So quickly, Tiff, this is what I mean. At the top, you get the shift, you get the ball fake, and straight back. There's no one around her. She gets it, lets it fly. That's the type of execution Alabama State has to have. That's like one of those chestnut checker moves. If you're trying to get more movement for Southern, because right now they're just sitting and waiting for you to look for an inside touch. But that was very beautiful basketball in the perimeter.
Ball definitely not sticking for Alabama State in this second half. Simpson at the free throw line and smiles right now. It's not often you see a coach trailing in this position in a championship game that smiles, but again, the attitude of your team is reflected in your coach, and there is plenty of belief still remaining in Jonetta Hayes for her group to come back in this one.
Well, first of all, if you're talking about reflecting of the coach, it's the swag that comes with it too. And I know her on the sidelines. It's not just how she shows up to coach, it's how she shows up with the fits. And she has just been so much fun to watch and cover this season.
Tate looking, picks up the dribble, finds Reed. And Reed is rejected. Great defense there from Alabama State, and the shot clock violation is forced.
Alabama State.
Let's start looking at your time. You only got 7 minutes left.
From this Alabama State team.
The defense, go.
Yeah, Reed got the high step, but just went straight into a brick wall. And with the block and had no other choice but for a last-second heave, so great series for Alabama State. Now, how do they string that together on the offensive side? 7 minutes left in this ball game.
Flowers had a good look. No, Porter is able to haul in the rebound. Taken away by Flowers. Still no.
Still can't make it.
And a tie-up between Cunningham and Flowers. Coming in to intervene, the officials. So Charlize McClendon is whistled for the personal foul. She appears to be gassed at this time as she takes a seat.
Gets the ball. You can see here just the tie-up, and so you're saying there's a foul and no tie-up. That's what was called. She's still holding at her face.
Yeah. It's more than that. She may have taken some contact to the faces.
But there was a quick turnover for Southern, too. Flowers had an opportunity to put it off the deck, as Tate does just there. I mean, what a baller. What a baller. We were having a discussion about the depth of this
girl ain't
roster
playing.
and the bench outscores the starters. Well, look no further than Jocelyn Tate for why that is a big part of the reason. I feel like a player that can come in and be on a starting rotation within this league and has found her place. It doesn't matter where she starts, it's where she finishes. And she is many times, if not all, in the game when it counts and matters the most.
She quick off the ball, I can tell you that, boy.
So quick,
Yeah,
off
quick.
the first step. And if you allow her to get on your high foot, which means she's past you, you're looking at the back of her jersey the rest of the way.
Well, Coach has just talked about the way this sophomore has come along and found her footing this season, her versatility, and now she's got double digits in all 3 games this week here in Atlanta in this SWAC tournament. She had 13 in the quarterfinals, 10 last night, and a 10-second violation forced by this Southern defense. The backcourt violation, and we came in talking about the tenacity that we have seen from the Jaguars team.
Number 0, Franklin.
Jocelyn Tate, what a fun player she is to watch, folks.
I've highly enjoyed watching this tournament with her going off and her, as you mentioned, in double figures. But I mean, this is a player that is averaging just under 8 points per game. And you almost wonder how, because I think that she can light it up and get hot at any given moment. I feel like she can go for a 20-point game.
Well, you just see just how dangerous this Southern team is. Remember, last year they were regular season champs and tournament champs. Alabama A&M came in to steal the spotlight after a remarkable season. Outstanding job that Dawn Thornton did in Huntsville with that group. Their first ever regular season title.
Is the 2026 Pepsi SWAC Basketball Tournament being presented by
So Southern is appealing
Stick with us.
the out of bounds call on that last play.
Just turn on your favorite streaming device. Search SWAC TV.
Every possession matters in understanding. You want to maintain this lead and expand it if you can, if you're Carlos Funches, because nothing feels too comfortable. They led by as many as 22 in this one, and then Alabama State was able to close the gap to 10. As this one, did it last go off the foot of a Southern player, which appears to be the call on the floor, but they're going to take another look. That looks to be last touch by Porter.
Yeah, I think, Tiffany, the best look of that with our entire crew, thank you for getting us a shot on the baseline, because you can see, yes, it did hit the leg of Alabama State, but then it went off the foot, as you mentioned, for Jocelyn Tate. So I think it's off of Southern. It looked like it was pretty clear. Hopefully this is rather quick, that they can go over this appeal.
Jackson State as the 2026 Freshman of the Year.
So an unsuccessful appeal by Southern. They'll be charged a timeout while we have the opportunity. Champ Week rolls on tonight at 6 Eastern over on ESPN, the Phillips 66 Big 12 Championship game, with top-seeded Arizona taking on the 2-seed Houston Cougars. Then coming up at 8:30 Eastern, we'll have the ACC Tournament Championship, Duke squaring off against Virginia. That's must-see TV, and anytime Cameron Boozer takes the court, he's always a good watch.
Oh, yeah, of course. And, of course, his dad is watching. He wasn't too bad himself. I suppose the Boozer family is in good shape, but also Dayton Bradley, the player of the year in the Big 12, with a incredible game-winning, buzzer-beating shot in the semi. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see these two teams match up.
And you talked about this dude earlier, right? Carlos Funches, who won So Shabby himself, played at Northeastern Louisiana, now ULM. Won that slam dunk competition in his senior season.
Yeah.
And has been a part of the success for Southern. He's won 3 regular season and tournament titles, was on staff with Sandy Pugh, the previous head coach as well. And all Funches knows how to do is win.
That's a fact. That is an absolute fact. And I'm excited because I get to go to Indianapolis to be specific, because that's where a lot of the action is going to be happening for the men's side of tournament time, with the WNIT or the NIT happening there, and then also the 3-point and slam dunk contest happening along with the Final Four. So it's going to be very busy in Indianapolis.
Well, I'll tell you here, Southern trying to capture their second title, back-to-back seasons. Would be the third time in 4 years, and they have led most of the way. That big first quarter came out the gate 17-8, and then they kind of traded over the next 2 quarters. But if you think about it, it's either resided with Southern or Jackson State. Remember when Tamika Reed was leading the way for the Tigers.
Oh yeah, we absolutely remember what Tamika Reed has gone on, and now with Charlotte. But all eyes were on Jackson State for a lot of different reasons. But I mean, just to see the attention and just time and time again, the teams in this conference that step up and put the national coverage on notice, the national audience about who they are and how dominant they can be. And we saw Southern in the tournament, the NCAA tournament last year, that put the world on notice.
They took down UC San Diego last year for not only the program's first NCAA tournament win, but also for the conference. Jackson State came close a couple of years prior when they put a scare in LSU.
And that's when Gino Ariema said, that is one of the best coaches in our league. And just to see everything that Coach Reed was able to do, the respect that was earned from that as well. It's fun. It's really cool to see coaches that appreciate good coaching across the board.
Absolutely. Now you think about some of the great coaches in the league now. Don Thornton, Coach of the Year at Alabama A&M. I was really impressed also with Erica Leak at Arkansas, Pine Bluff. And there's just a wealth of talent within, and Jonetta Hayes, and we're seeing the job that she's done in year 1 at Alabama State. So you see Southern with the press. The idea to press here with this sizable lead from Carlos Funches.
I tell you what, we're looking at the scoreboard, not them. That's what it feels like. Because when you build on an identity, you don't care what it says. You're trying to say, how are we getting more reps? Because they did have a lull in the third quarter. So if you want to think about times to take off on the pressure, it can't be in the fourth.
Minutes past the top of the hour, the SWAC championship game. The 4 seed Southern Jaguars against Hornets of Alabama State, the 3 seed. These teams tied in the regular season in conference play, but it was Alabama State that won the head-to-head matchup, not once but twice. So the Jaguars trying to avenge those regular season losses here on this big stage.
My bad, I had to take me a lunch break. We got 4 minutes and 47 seconds
Think
left.
about Jocelyn Tate in double figures, Zaria Hurston.
You know, I had to mess up
leading
the
the way
crawfish.
with 13 points.
So the head off the
Nancy,
crawfish.
who has come up with some timely shots for the
Feel good
Jaguars.
now.
Just production all
What y'all up in there talking about?
for Carlos Funches. The
Time
balanced
to
attack that he
That's
has.
right, Keith.
3 and a possible if you play spades for that
That's
are
it,
double
pivot.
figures. So it's really cool to see the amount of depth that they have.
Emmett
I mean, down the
Jones,
line,
you're right.
and that's what
I'm
you
taking
also
crawfish
look
up
to,
now.
because yes,
you're
This
happy with
game
the
over with.
success that
Bama
you can get
State,
in the
they
SWAC,
lost. They had in the
and
third
knowing that
quarter.
the title gets you to the big dance where you are playing nationally
Alabama State
ranked
playing house money.
opponents.
Her job was
So what
beating
is that
Alabama
going to look
A&M.
like?
She already did
How is
that.
that going to
Laugh out
translate on
loud.
the next level?
Israel say SU Lady Jags
When
will
you
be
talk
the
about
first
just
SWAC
some of
team to
those
repeat the
top
champions.
teams
This
in the
JSU
country, the
and Tamika
national
Reed,
seeds
21,
are
22.
announced at 3 o'clock at the top of this hour. So this is something new this year, the third and final
Carlos
reveal
Funches,
before
McGee,
tomorrow
Mississippi.
night's selection special. And
Yes,
this
sir.
time they're doing it.
Appreciate that, Em.
alphabetical
Yeah, I tell some crawfish.
I think
I'll ball them up now.
I'm like, who's going where? Who's going to match up? You try to like look for any possible way to find out where you're going, but I mean, if you're going through the 1 and 4 seeds, you have to look at the number 1 overall seeds that we saw from the previous top 16 reveal, and it's UConn, UCLA. UCLA actually getting a couple of first place votes in the last AP poll, South Carolina and Texas. So will that be the same? And then obviously, if you're going down the list for the next 4, you have Vanderbilt, who after that reveal were the second one. So on Valentine's Day, we saw a little bit of a reveal for Vandy, and then got an upset loss to Georgia. So it's been a little shifty, but Vanderbilt has done incredible work. Michaela Blakes has been phenomenal. Iowa, what a year that they've been able to have. You can't look past Kim Mulkey and her squad in the Michigan, putting up some incredible numbers all season.
Oh man, that backcourt with Olivia Nelson, Silas Score is fun to watch. Remember, the selection special will be at 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night on ESPN. And one of these teams will represent the SWAC in the NCAA tournament. Remember that Southern, after beating UC San Diego a season ago, fell to top-seeded UCLA in last year's tournament.
If I may give a little love, it's a little bias to Corey Close, since she coached me as associate head coach at Florida State, and to see the success that she's been able to get, not just from last season being the coach of the year, but also now the number 2 team in the nation after getting to the Final Four last year and being one of the teams, if not last year, the year before, taking down UConn, and the success that they've been able to have, 18-0 in the Big Ten. And I just can't say it enough how impressive she has been. For a lot of questions to be, how are they going to continue to win? And she showed up in a major way.
Yeah, and when you think about Kiki Rice and Lauren Betts and
Sienna Betts. And then you look at you. Oh, go ahead.
No. And she bet right.
She better. Oh, you know?
Okay.
See, and you would have made me miss out on a Tiffany.
It's cheesy, folks. It's okay. I will call myself on it.
But I love it. And then you can't look past UConn that wins 13 straight tournament titles.
Well, Texas taking down South Carolina, that SEC championship.
Maddie Booker, who also signed a deal as the first athlete for KD in his shoe line. And where's the number for KD? Both people from Texas, obviously, ballers. And I mean, the storylines have been fantastic from top to bottom through women's basketball. The game continues to grow. What is most fun about it? So I am really excited about what March Madness is going to give us this year.
Absolutely. And the cool tie-ins here too. You know, you talk some big picture stuff, right? We're here in the Gateway Center Arena, right? You ever heard about anybody by the name of Alicia Gray?
Alicia Gray, let me run through my mind. Oh, yeah, probably. Right. And people overseas may know her name too now, since she's representing with USA Basketball.
Her sister, Ashley Gray, a part of this Alabama State team. Currently injured right now, but the younger sister, so bloodline strong in the Gray family.
I always joke that Alicia Gray, we might have a little bit of ancestry there, because with me, I don't know if you know, but it's funny, just a quick funny story. With me covering the Atlanta Dream, I knew when she was fine because I would get docked out of my pay. And I said, Greg, Alicia, what did you do? Because something's not adding up the right way. And so it's just fun to see her, one of the best people you could ever meet.
And one of the best interviews was with her.
She's a hoot.
Oh man, she's absolutely hilarious. So authentic.
They should got about one more time, media timeout, and then ain't nothing left.
The wrestle for
But
the between
bring out
London
the champagne and the
and jump ball is going to stay with
T-shirts.
Alabama State.
and then the
How
trophy.
appropriate it is, folks, too. As
Yeah,
we look at
it's
the
about
sport,
over
one of the
for
few
y'all.
times we will be able to say goodbye to this trend, this phenomenon of 6-7, 67 points for Southern.
Yeah, it ain't too much left, y'all can do.
And they've got the lead with just under 3.5 to go.
Thanks, Tiff.
Yep, no problem.
Couldn't close it out without that.
Hey, no problem. I've got my kids behind me, Bryson and Aaron, so they love the 6-7 phenomenon. Yeah.
What's cool about that, though, is that I really did offer them if they wanted to call the game with you because they were excited putting the headset on. I honestly didn't think I was going to get it back. But how cool is it as you as a mom and just living
need
your
to foul,
dream on the
ladies.
stage with having
No
your
need to
family
foul.
with you? What an inspiration that is to everyone.
Thank you. Sincerely appreciate it. Well, Kaylee Simpson and the Alabama State Hornets seeing their season wind down just over 3 minutes to go, trailing by 16 as Southern spins the timeout. They've got 2 remaining. Carlos Funches and the job that he has done. And we referenced it already before, Angel, but if you're just popping in for the last 3+ minutes, again, this is a Southern team that last year was able to notch a win in the NCAA tournament. First ever in program history, first ever for the SWAC, as they beat UC San Diego 68-56 in that first 4 games.
But we would be remiss if we also didn't revisit that there are 2 players on that team that felt that. And so with the amount of turnover on this program, for them to find themselves back in this position, Coach Funches, we tip our hat.
Jocelyn Tate and Deshaunte Edwards, the 2 players you referenced. Tate with the ball in her hand. Kick over to Edwards, interestingly enough, as she tries to take it in. No, chasing her own shot. And it stays with Southern. The offensive rebound, and how did she cradle that and quickly put that back in? And Edwards had a couple of opportunities, wouldn't fall. There's a couple of bodies on the floor with both Edwards and Flowers being helped up.
Edwards is playing like this is a 5-point game. And that's what you respect most about the mentality established here for Southern. The rebound goes up. Look at the box out. 3 bodies are running around. She's off the glass. Give me that again. Tried to get it back on the glass. I mean, it's the effort that we've been able to see today.
Well, she brings that Baltimore grit with her. Just determined, maximum effort. But that's the type of leader, too, that you want on your squad.
Say Baltimore, I see the rebounds, and immediately I think Angel Reese.
Yeah.
She said, I'm from Baltimore. The first thing that she says is there's a grittiness that you play with, that you leave with, and is applied to every other defense.
Be more spineless. Meanwhile, Kaylee Simpson, who has carried the load for Alabama State McClendon with the offensive foul.
You took that one. That girl, she's like a Mack truck. You took that one.
Dixon.
And can I say this too? As you can see, a couple of players that felt like they were going out, but right here, the step up, sacrificing the body, the offensive foul there, and her feet didn't necessarily need to be outside the line. That's not something that they look at today in the women's game. And so I've seen on multiple occasions, Tiffany, where Southern has celebrated the defensive stops more than offensive plays or runs. And that, to have that mentality established for, I would say, players in today's mindset that love the offensive side more, that buy on the defensive side, that you can have fun, we want to make them feel us. That's what gives me chills going into March.
2 minutes.
Well, again, it's been defense that has helped them win games as that was pushed by Delancey. Put back, no, but again, another opportunity on the offensive end. Edwards going in this time.
Yeah.
She gets the bucket.
Yeah, slow singing and flower bringing. It's over.
This is a Southern team that knocked off a couple of Big 12 opponents in the non-conference, Angel.
Houston, Arizona said, oh, we are very aware. We have been put on notice of what Southern is all about. And if you don't think they are waiting and chomping at the bits about another team that they can say, this is who we are, you are sadly mistaken.
Look at Plank Road. Look at Plank Road back there. Look at Plank Road. It's about time for Crook to make his appearance. Where you at, Crook? Come on, let me hear it.
Again, this SWAC
Where's Crook
Women's
at?
tournament that is culminating with this championship
Oh,
game.
Crook.
With Southern
Crook done ran to the
Alabama State. The Hornets knocked off Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Crook done ran to that corner store and got them 4 locos and them 2 hot dogs. He ready. Wayne Road in the house.
Played at Alabama State. To start.
Go ahead on, Southern.
Transferred over into the Southern program.
I love seeing Georgia girls being able to sub in too because, you know, being from Alpharetta, Georgia, which is about a 45-minute drive from.
We pay all our tax dollars go to Baton Rouge to keep their shit straight. That's why we can't fix our streets.
And getting time to be able to come back and just being celebrated in a major way while
I'm waiting on my boy Crook to come up in here. Come on, Crook. Where you at?
Emotion too on
Let
the
me hear it.
sideline with the coaches.
He ain't gonna say nothing to the
Everything we've
men's
seen
game.
from Demaya Porter all season, named to the
You gotta watch him.
second team. Leads the team in scoring, 15th in the SWAC in overall scoring. I mean, what a career she's had up to this point.
Flowers puts up 3. No offensive.
Oh, there he is. I told y'all. I told y'all. There was Crook.
Kaylee
Damn
Simpson,
Crook.
who is
I knew Crook was coming.
giving her all this afternoon. Simpson with 16 points.
Oh,
on the
man.
free throw line. The junior who has fought hard
Oh,
and played
man.
hard. And you think about this coaching staff that Johnetta Hayes has assembled. Terrence Royals, associate head coach, who has been with her for 14 seasons.
We live under the sea level.
Who brings a
We only about
coaching
6.
experience.
I'm only about 6 feet below sea level. We all right.
You know,
You
that,
can't miss it though.
that zebra jacket in the back, that's Anita Howard, Theo Howard's wife. She's an associate head
Look
coach
at it.
Mississippi
Look
State.
at it.
Janae Summers, who played for Coach Hayes, and then Bianca
Goddamn
Jackson,
Crook. I told y'all Crook was
who
coming.
was a senior in high school the last time Alabama State won a SWAC championship. Her mother, Frida Freeman Jackson, spent 27 years and had great success with the
Hey,
Hornets.
Jay Hiller, we survived Katrina.
What's up, girl?
Baton Rouge can't goddamn
She's
survive a
right
fucking
now.
ice storm.
She's proud wife,
She's
right?
double dipping too. She said, "Yeah, I am in the wife role today. Got the state,
But she can do
Right on.
double state though, right?
Right.
Mississippi State, Alabama State. Oh,
I see what you did there, Coach.
It's all good, man. And shout out to them Lady Jaguars and the Lady Hornets.
You were talking about the coaching staff. I'd have to say too, TJ Royals, Terrence.
Congratulations to y'all.
Who has been with their 13 seasons, actually coached me in AAU. So it's just a huge family. You really respect the wealth of knowledge on that staff. To your point,
when you think about, you take over for a legend after 27 seasons. You turn around a program over the last 2 years who have been 9-50, and you take.
Now, I don't know if they're going to do the trophy presentation, but if they do the trophy presentation,
the SWAC championship
I will
game
definitely
in your
keep it on
first
here.
season. Things are looking up for Johnetta Hayes and this group out of Montgomery, and the 6 seniors she has on this team have helped to build a part of that Hornet 7, that culture that she's looking to establish and has established. with Alabama State.
Yeah, you think about Amari Franklin, you think about the grad guard and Taylor Smith too, and everything that they've been able to pour in to the seasons, and in a year, in an era where you can go anywhere. After 1 year, you stick with what you know and what program is going to make you better. And I can say this too, looking at this program and looking at Coach Hayes, when you say I commit to the program, you also commit to being better women after you leave too. And so it's exciting to see where they will go on and how they build on their careers.
This will be the final game for Cleara Peterson, Taylor Smith, Amari Franklin, along with Kaya Ponder, Caitlin Bryant, and Alicia Ashley Gray. Meanwhile, for this Southern team, what a remarkable year. Some may have overlooked them because of the fantastic season that Alabama A&M had. They moved the spotlight to Huntsville, but since then has shifted it back to Baton Rouge. The Southern group, who is no stranger to the stage,
Baton Rouge
is less than a minute away.
It's Baton Rouge, which
from
translates
their
into
third
red
SWAC title in 4 years.
Streaky season this year for Southern, but the most important part, in which you will see in a lot of teams, and how even the committee will look at some teams, is when did they get hot and who did they play? And for Southern
in
to
the
take
country,
down Alabama,
you say
A&M,
Baton Rouge.
to have the streak coming into this season, into the tournament, and also how they have
Baton
responded to
Rouge.
runs of Alabama State.
That would make me laugh.
You look
From
at the
Baton Rouge.
trending
Down there
how
on the
they play. Now,
SSD, the
you
south
win
side
in
of
your
Baton Rouge.
but how you are playing, what you're building on. And we asked the question,
You-
we're seeing them press all over the floor.
Not too
It's
far from
because
Plain Road.
they understand they have another game left.
But you said it earlier, Angel, second year in this Gateway Center Arena. Charles McClellan,
There go that damn,
gentleman
SWAC
in the red
commissioner.
shirt. He's got the suit on. Commissioner of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and the fantastic job that he has done. And certainly there's so much excitement that's around here. Anytime they come to Atlanta, a SWAC school comes to Atlanta, oh yeah, you know people are going to be talking about it. And we're going to see Southern Prairie View A&M men later tonight for the championship
So you're
day.
saying I need to clear my schedule?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I can see what I can work with.
Make sure you tune in. Right here on ESPNU at 8:30.
Charge to Southern.
Correction, that's at 7:30 Eastern tonight.
At 6:30 Central.
I don't know. That's
6:30 Central, so about 6:25. I'll go live.
Well, it was Prairie View who moved past Alabama A&M to make it to the championship game, and Southern with a
So Central time about 6:25. I'll go live.
Jaguars out of Baton Rouge as they
Rouge.
broke the hearts of Florida A&M.
It's Baton Rouge.
And the Jaguars move on to the championship right here again, 7:30 Eastern on ESPNU.
So you're saying these fans have an opportunity to carry over to the next game?
Oh,
It's going to be live here at Gateway Center.
let me tell you, the last time I saw the Southern University Human Jukebox, now this is their pep band version, they were champions in the National Band of the Year competition back in December.
Look at Plank Road. Shout out Plank Road.
They bring their fan base, and so you know it's going that extra energy. That, I don't know how you call it in Wazang. That's what they say. Wazang. In Baton Rouge.
I love that so much, and you feel it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now that comes from New Orleans.
that gives
You
you.
say, what's
I
that?
can speak for my band. Like when we were playing, it gave us so much energy. At
Ain't
first day,
no
but
damn Baton Rouge.
You
Say,
can't
what's
really
that?
compare when you think about the Rattler to my left, that FAMU alum.
The Mighty Marching Hornets brought their band there as well. I'm giving all SWAC bands love because you know if you talk too much about anybody's band,
Uh-oh.
you get in trouble.
Listen, and this is where we fade.
But really, what an all-around performance from this Southern team.
Oh, look at Crook. I knew it was coming.
Delancey,
Southern wins another championship. Crook, if you don't sit your ass down.
Off the bench and providing instant offense.
I knew he was coming.
Similar story for Jocelyn Tate as well.
We already mentioned even, I don't know if you were just talking about overall today, but even Demaya Porter, who put them in a position to be in the title game, who was very good for them with the 10 points.
Man, that damn Crook.
Like, there's so
There
much
it
to
is.
celebrate for Southern.
Hey, congratulations, Lady Jaguars. And good game, Alabama State. Lady Bull, Lady Hornets.
As Southern University wins it for the second consecutive.
Let's see where y'all be dancing tomorrow night.
Your SWAC champions.
Guess y'all gonna see that coming back on rooms too. Do what you want.
Congratulations, Coach Carlos Fuentes.
What an outstanding performance from Carlos Funch's group. 4 different scores.
That damn
double
Crook.
figures led
Boy,
by
Crook ain't.
Zari Hurston.
But y'all,
Southern University, they're going dancing. A fantastic afternoon it was here in Atlanta. All games on our ESPN networks are streaming live. For Angel Gray, I'm Tippy Green saying we out.
well, they're not gonna show the. I thought they was gonna show the trophy presentation. They are not gonna show it. I thought they would, but hey, congratulations to them once again, man. And if you ain't doing nothing or you just want to sit around and watch the men's game tonight, it's about 6:25 Central. That's 7:25 Eastern, 5:25 Pacific, 4:20 Mountain Time. I'll be going live and we'll watch that game tonight also. And God forbid if Southern men and women both win the championship. I don't know what's going to be worse. Pair of you winning or Southern winning the men's championship. Both fan bases are annoying as hell. I'm just saying. The boys are playing at 6:30 Central Time. At 7:30 Eastern Time. Okay. All right, man. But thank y'all, man. I'm gonna drop the link if anybody want to come up and give their Lady Jaguars a shout out, or want to tell the Alabama State Lady Hornets, congratulations, and thank you for the good season. Give y'all a few minutes. If not, we're gonna get up out of here. But I'm gonna drop the link for anybody that wants to come up and say something. You know. Jay said they both were annoying, but he could tolerate Southern. Southern. Jackson State fans, trip me out when they don't call y'all Southern, they call y'all Southern. That's hilarious to me. Yeah, but the link is dropped though, man. But yeah. So y'all can come on up if y'all want to. Let's turn that on. Are you in the chat, Doc? What's up?
Oh man, do I have to say congratulations to Southern?
You gotta tell Crook. Crook. He only come around with Southern wins. So,
man, do I gotta tell congratulations? Nah, for real though. Congratulations to Southern for having winning the tournament on the women's side. Congratulations to Alabama State for making it all the way to the tournament final after what they went through the last couple of years, being almost dead last in the league a year ago. But hey, look, sky's the limit. This season on the women's side it
was different because I don't think anybody gave anybody a chance except Alabama A&M. But I said the winner out of the Southern and Jackson State game would play in the final. I never said they would win the final. I said they would go to the final, and people told me I was out of my mind. I didn't know what I was talking about. Yeah, well, look like I knew what I was talking about, so. Oh, man. But it's all good, though, man. Yeah, if y'all can tolerate Crook, because Crook, he gonna talk for about the next 3 months.
Yeah, go on and give us some money. Go on and give the conference some money. We need some money getting into this tournament.
Yeah, that Crook he held.
And I mean, congratulations to everybody. Even congratulations to Alabama A&M women for winning the regular season, having the remarkable season that they had, winning 18 straight.
Yep.
Going into conference play, they lost their first game and reeled off 18 straight wins. But hey, man, it's one of the things. Congratulations to my Jack State women, even though we had some adversity this season. We should get it done next. We're gonna get it done next season. We'll see y'all in October, November for women's basketball.
All right, my brother. All right, man. I'm gonna get up off here, man, because I gotta be back in probably about 4 hours. And I'm gonna do
I'm about to get on this thing, watch some basketball, and do my thing also. So I'll be on tonight. I'll be on my own live stream tonight.
All right, y'all. All right, appreciate you, Doc.
Appreciate it.
All right, y'all, man. Hey, thank y'all. Hey, if you want to watch the men's tonight, 6:30 or 6:25 on ESPNU, I'll be live streaming that game also. But until then, man, we gonna get on up out of here, and I'll see y'all back in a couple hours if y'all want to watch. But until then, we're gonna leave y'all with a little Super Sunday, New Orleans, Uptown. No, I'm not from Uptown, I'm from downtown, the real town.
Working for the Mardi Gras Carnival in New Orleans, I'm outside. Everybody talking about, boy, you so cold. It's only one Super Sunday, it ain't the Super Bowl. I was sewing, hustling, working for the Mardi Gras Carnival in New Orleans, I'm outside. Everybody talking about, boy, you so cold. It's only one Super Sunday, it ain't the Super Bowl. Mardi Gras, walking through the streets like I run the town. Don't blow your horn at me to move, drive around. We outside. I don't tell them he don't have enough on. I tell engines they look naked, I'm a whole park legend. We outside. I was making cars stop at the D shop. At the liquor store, I tell them who could go. We outside. Once you walk across the city, we gon' meet them all. The other engines, they be hopping out of U-Haul. You a U-Haul engine, U-Haul engine. And I'm an old school engine walking across the city. You a U-Haul engine, U-Haul engine. And I'm an old school engine walking across the city. I'm buying feathers by the dozens just to play the dozens. Telling engines stare at me, they need to study. My suit shining bangers with the chief sing. I'm walking up the street painted.
That's a Flag Boy Giz, man. Mardi Gras and the Super Sunday is tomorrow. But hey, once again, man, thank y'all, man. Hit the like button on y'all way up out of there. And I'm out here. I'll see y'all in a couple hours.